The third award recipient tonight is Dr. Bruce Richardson. The person who nominated Bruce, Susan Stubson, calls him Wyoming's unofficial arts ambassador, and that certainly is high praise. Bruce is an educator and an arts advocate. He was named 2012 Casper Citizen of the Year for his volunteer work with local art organizations and his attendance at art events. He has served on the Wyoming Arts Council Board for 8 years. He also represented Wyoming on the board of the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies for 2 years. He chronicles the contemporary art scene, reviews local art exhibits for the Casper Star Tribune, and writes on topics from art education to community arts development in Wyoming. Bruce, thank you for working tirelessly to promote the arts in Wyoming. You've had an impact on many individuals, organizations, and communities across the state. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen.
All right, when I think of Bruce, I think of an ambassador of the arts in Wyoming. He is a true advocate and a philanthropist, and an all-around supporter of the arts in Wyoming, and in Casper, Wyoming, and the nation.
So the one thing that I think of when I think of Bruce Richardson, if I had to pick one word, it would be passion. Just total, well, this is more than one word, but just all-out, unfettered passion. Passion about everything. Music, visual arts, art advocacy, philanthropy. He's all of that.
Bruce's strength is articulating the needs of arts and articulating the role of the arts and articulating his enthusiasm for the arts. So he lives it, he breathes it. That's what I admire so much about Bruce.
He's a good advocate, because when he does speak, when he does come forward and say, we need to advance or support this project, or we need funding, people pay attention, because he not only knows what he's talking about, but he approaches all those subjects thoughtfully, professionally, and with a quiet dignity that respects other people's opinions, but stands firm for his view and his support for art, cultural events, and for humanity programming in Wyoming.
I was very, very drawn to Wyoming after living in Los Angeles by lots of things, the beauty of the place, the competence and wonder of the people that I met. In Los Angeles, if you needed something fixed, you weren't sure it was going to be fixed. In Wyoming, everybody knew how to fix everything. It's a place of highly competent people, highly skilled people. And I think that leads into sort of the arts world. But it's also a place that doesn't have very many folks. And I think that puts a lot of responsibility on everyone to be busy, to be helping, to be doing things with others, to be working in communities, to be making the place explode. And that appealed to me. I liked doing service work and citizenship, and that was an important part of what it meant to me to be a university faculty member, that I was working for the University of Wyoming, that I was doing something useful for the state. But in Wyoming, that wasn't just an option, it was really a necessity. If you want certain kinds of things in a state with a lower population, you've got to get to work, you've got to do some things. And I just think that's a wonderfully appealing thing. Casper is a fantastic town to have lived in. I'm just surrounded by people that have started organizations, that have built institutions, and never quit, even when things don't work out for them. They just keep going at them. And that's the kind of place I wanted to be in, and that's what Wyoming was for me.
In the nonprofit world, it's very, very hard as far as to raise the monies and to have that bridge between the two different entities. So I think Bruce is a great bridge between the arts and legislature maybe, and making people understand why the arts are important and why they matter in our economy, and why it's important, the arts are important for vibrancy in our communities.
He's the guy that's in the front row because he loves it, and he's passionate about it, and his presence says, I'm ready for this, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, when the curtain unfolds. That to me kind of is the visual of Bruce Richardson in this community.
Well, I think in a necessary but somewhat boring area, which is the area of running arts organizations and getting a good arts organizations going. And I've helped people with grant writing, with kind of board planning for how do you keep your organization robust and functioning. I come back in 5 to 10 years and I see some flourishing arts organizations that I've done some help with, then I'll be very happy. Okay, well, I like that little film. Thanks, Michael Conti. Maybe it needed some special effects or something, but golly gee, Susan Stubbson nominated me, and what a citizen, a pianist, a bicyclist, a mom, a board member, and her husband's okay too. And my wife, Susan Stanton, great violinist, treasurer for Casper Chamber Music, does the work. And these are the people I like. The people in Wyoming that do the work, that start things, that get things going. And what a state for that. What a state. Governor Meade, that was a terrific address, and you told the truth. The arts are jumping in Wyoming. The place is very interesting, very exciting. Boy, couldn't be better. What a nice thing. And the other thing, I've just got to say, I am a proud faculty member of the University of Wyoming. Worked for them since 1984, a great university. And I'm so honored that my president, Dick McKennedy, is here, and many of my friends from the university have come. And boy, oh boy. You all showed up, and these people are sensational leaders and sensational citizens. And believe with me that a university that gets so much support from the state, and thank you, legislature, for that support, ought to be giving back in big ways. And so my philosophy and my thinking, and I think that of all of my colleagues that are here, is that we are servants of the state, and that we've got to take the resources and the time and the skills that we have to make good out there. And I think we've done great. And I think we've done a terrific job in being useful in the arts. The last group I'd like to thank is the legislature. I've been out and about in the United States in the Arts Council world, and people are very interested in Wyoming. They ask me, gosh, your Arts Council is very good. Golly, they're doing very interesting things. Golly, you have a grant in every county. Golly, you're really helping. How do you do it? And your legislature understands art. My legislature doesn't know anything. I think there's a complex answer to that. And the complex answer really has to do with the closeness of the representatives to the people here. You know what people want and what people value. And at the end of the day, we've got to have prosperity, we've got to have health. But after we've got that, what do we want? We want some meaning. We want some fun. We want some energy. We want some things that make us proud of the whole state. And the arts give us those things. 3 things that I want to see, okay? More help for nonprofit leadership. If we've got a state of leaders, we've got to help train them. Arts Council is getting going on this. We've got to do a whole bunch. Second thing I'm excited about, and the town that does this will be a magnet town, a Wyoming Arts High School. These have been real successful across the country. And the third thing and I'm taking this from my visionary friend Dave Neary, but I think it's worth thinking about. A small state like this that has some resources has a chance to make a big impact nationally. We could have the best arts education program in the nation be recognized for that. I think we're on our way. I think things are good. And it's not going to be just money, it's going to be vision and imagination. But we're good right now. Why not be better? Thank you so much for all your support, and it's such an honor to be included with the other awardees.